Hello and happy Tuesday, which is of course my book reviews day. And today I would like to talk to you about The Forum by James Newman. No, you are not seeing double. I do have two copies here in front of me. One is the numbered edition, one is the lettered edition. I read the numbered edition, but I figured I'd showcase them both here on the video while talking about this novella. I don't even know if you can call this a novella. This is really a short story that is kind of brought to novella length by the trim size of the paper and the frequent illustrations by Bauman. So this was number 5 in Cemetery Dance's signature series. I got into this series very late. I know some people might be critical of it because it just seems to be a way of taking a short story, adding a bunch of illustrations just to add a couple signatures on there. I enjoyed it though. I thought it was a very nice presentation. So we'll start with the numbered edition here that I'm going to showcase. Unfortunately, both of these editions are long sold out, but you can find them pretty easily on the secondary market. So this does have a nice little kind of stamping on the front of the facsimile signature of James Newman and Jill Bauman. The numbered edition does have these nice red end papers, and it is signed by both right there. So anyways, what's the story itself about? The story is about a man named Ed who gets a mysterious invite to the titular forum, which is a forum for serial killers, a forum for the deranged. You kind of get those good old feel-good vibes right from the start when it's, has several quotes, two quotes from serial killers and one quote about the internet being evil. Just to get you those good times rolling. And as far as the short story goes, I actually really enjoyed this short story. Some of the things that are going to occur you might see from a mile away. But overall, it was a very interesting concept, which could very well be true. There's some creepy places out on the dark web. So having, a novel from well over a decade ago, when was this, 2010? So yeah, 14 years ago, it still holds true. There's some crazy stuff on the website, on the internet out there, so I'm sure you could find equally creepy stuff out there. It almost reminded me in a way of like a Bentley Little novel, but in short story form. You don't have your unexplicable evil. This is really more of the evil of man in general. But you're going to have some dark and twisted things that he's going to encounter on the forum. Ed is not a serial killer, but he finds himself constantly going back to this website, back to this forum, wanting to dive. It's like a morbid fascination, wanting to dive deeper and deeper to, figure out. I'm going to skip that one. Skip that illustration. To figure out, what's making these serial killers tick. It's the same way you might stare at a car crash as you're driving around. And that's what you have with Ed's story here. The novella itself, like I said, if you can call it that, is just over 70 pages. 77 pages to be exact. How about that? 77 pages. It does have some blank, page block here in the back, but it is what it is. 77 pages, but it is almost like a short story. In those 77 page length, because we're looking at very small trim sizes. You could read this very easily in an afternoon, and I think if you're looking for a horror thriller short story, you can't go wrong. This was the first novella or short story, whatever you want to call it, from this signature series that I've ever read. I own a couple of them, but the first one I've actually read. And I will say, if they're all up to this caliber, I'd be very impressed. I imagine you're going to get, mixed results going forward. But, I'll keep this dust jacket off right now as I show you the lettered edition, too. But, man, it's a strong start. I enjoyed it. So if you get a chance to check out The Forum by James Newman, I would highly recommend doing so. This is the lettered edition to the right. I think I'll do a little side-by-side comparison. So whereas the numbered is bound in black cloth, the lettered has this red leather binding. Very nice. Got silver stamping for both of them, although you can see more of a shine to the other one. The other one's a very matte silver, whereas the lettered is a glossy silver. End pages are a little different too. Numbered has the red end papers. Lettered has more grayscale. The signature page itself, do they both have the mouse illustration? No, they do have different illustrations. One being the mouse, which is featured in the numbered edition. It's right there in the title page, but it's actually on the signature sheet for the lettered edition. The pages, as far as I can tell, by the way, are exactly the same. It's not like it's printed on different page stock or anything. It just has mostly the different binding, the different limitation, and the different end papers. But it's still pretty cool, though. I figured I'd show both, might as well. So yeah, if you get a chance to check out The Forum by James Newman, I would highly recommend doing so. It's a nice, quick little horror, thriller, short story read. I should have looked up online before recording this if it's available anywhere else other than this novella. I don't think it is, but I probably should have checked that out. If I do find, maybe you can read an ebook version, perhaps, I'll put a link in the description below to that. Otherwise, if you did want to check it out, you will have to go to the secondary market to pick up a copy. But as I said, it should be relatively cheap. I think I got my numbered copy for less than what retail was. Retail was, $35? $35 back in the day, and you can find it for even cheaper than that. Lettered, I can't really speak to, because this is limited to 26 copies, plus PC copies, of which this is a PC copy, so I don't know if you can find a lettered copy, but, that's really only if you're going for the slightly higher production details. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. I do at least one book review a week on Tuesdays, with plenty of unboxing videos in between here and there. So if you like watching these types of videos, please consider subscribing to the channel. Puts a smile on my face. So anyways, thank you very much for watching. Check out James Newman's The Forum if you could find it, and we'll see you around next time.